Okay, so I know I may have talked about how discipline beats motivation every single time, and you should never rely on motivation alone. And I still believe that. I still think that is true. But there is a secret trick that you can use to probably 10 or maybe even 100x your motivation levels. So you can push yourself harder than you ever have before. And I think if you combine this with being incredibly disciplined, you will achieve crazy things. Because most people, they just wait for motivation to strike them. They think that one day they're going to get fired up, and to be honest, that doesn't really work consistently. A lot of the most successful people, they don't wait for motivation. They go looking for it. They almost create their own motivation. And if you do this right too, you won't have to try to stay disciplined as hard. Because you'll wake up each morning with a fire inside of you ready to attack the day. Of course, discipline will be required, but if you have both, it's amazing. Imagine right now, someone told you, hey, and this is going to be quite morbid, so apologies, but I want to make a point. You have 6 months to land that job, or your family is going to be sentenced to death. I know that's morbid and it sounds extreme, but just think about that for a second. If that were true, would you just try to get a job quite hard? Would you just send 20, 30, 40 applications a week and just hope for the best? I mean, you wouldn't do that, right? You would move like your life and your family's life depended on it. You would wake up every day early. You probably would not sleep. And you would have urgency, intensity, focus, knowing that failure here is not an option. It cannot be an option. And you would bloody get that job, I promise you. Now, obviously this scenario isn't real. At least I hope it's not. But if I told you that there are real consequences if you don't push yourself and you don't achieve what you want to achieve, what if your future depends on what you do in the next 6 months? Because it does. You see, most people, they don't feel urgency because they don't take the time to truly understand what is at stake here. But today, this is your chance to do it right. So I want you to take some action right now. I'm going to ask you throughout this video to pause at each step and write down your answers in a Google document, some sort of document, whatever document tool you like to use, or some sort of notepad you can write down with a pen. So please do this with me now, because we're about to uncover the real emotional reasons why you must succeed in your job search. And it's going to fire you up like nothing else. The first step is I want you to write down my goal as the headline, as the header. And I want to write down your goal. So your goal, it needs to be clear, but also broad enough to keep your options open, because we're going to be working a bit on your goal later in the program. So for example, you could write something down like, my goal is to land a full-time job in my field where I'm getting paid well, where I'm using my skills, where I feel valued, work that I enjoy, and where I can start building my dream career. Something like that. A goal that's clear but a bit broad. And the reason we keep it a bit broad is because we don't want you to set yourself up for failure. Because if you put something ultra specific, like I need to land a business analyst job at Google in the next 2 months, you're just setting yourself up to fail. So your goal needs to be achievable but exciting. So pause the video, write down my goal, and then actually write your goal down in the document. When you're finished, come back. Now, step 2 is I want you to visualize what happens if you achieve this goal. So literally close your eyes right now and imagine you've achieved your goal. You get the call. They say, we'd love to offer you the job. You see the salary, you see the job title, and you feel this wave of relief. You finally made it. You tell your parents. They're overwhelmed with joy and happiness. You can hear the pride in their voices. Maybe you use these funds to move into your own apartment. It's yours. You decorate it how you want. You get to go and buy furniture. No more noisy housemates if you are living with housemates, for example. You don't have to worry about rent. Maybe you go and buy an apartment. You've got your own place. Maybe you use your funds to go and book a holiday with your own money. Maybe you take your family somewhere amazing and you just see the joy on their faces knowing that you made this possible with your hard work, resilience, and achievements. Maybe you want to get permanent residency. So there's no more uncertainty about your future because you know it's locked in. You start waking up every day so excited to go to work because you're working at a good company, surrounded by people who inspire you. You're building your dream career. Maybe it's not your dream job, but it's something. You're on the way there. Or maybe it is your dream job. Who knows? Now you've got the financial freedom to support your family, help them financially, give back for all the sacrifices they made to you. You can treat your loved ones to nice things. Maybe you take them out for dinner, buy them thoughtful gifts. Be the person who's always there to provide for them. You can now invest in your future because you've got a consistent income, you've got some funds. Maybe you start saving for a house, or you can buy an apartment. You start building a safety net. You never stress about money ever again because you know you can always work. Now you have the time to enjoy your life. Maybe on the weekends you relax, pursue hobbies, go on trips, and live the life you always wanted. And you look in the mirror, and for the first time in a long time, you feel proud of yourself. Now pause the video for a second, and what I want you to do is write down exactly what happens when you achieve this goal. What changes in your life? How does your life improve? And who does this impact? So pause the video and write this down in your Google Doc or your notepad. And the title should be When I Succeed. Now, step 3, once you're done, is I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you fail. Imagine it's 6 or 12 months from now and you're still stuck in the same place, applying for jobs, getting rejected, your friends are moving forward, but you're left behind. They're getting jobs, they're posting about their new lives on LinkedIn, and you're still working your retail job, your part-time job, scanning groceries, the job that you swore that you would leave behind. And your parents, they ask you, how's the job search going? And you just don't know what to say. You see the worry in their eyes because they worked so hard to give you a future and now they're watching you struggle. You keep applying for jobs, but now your confidence is low. So every rejection feels like proof that you're not good enough. You start doubting yourself. You realize you spent tons of money on this qualification or multiple qualifications, maybe 100,000 or more. And you've put in years to get these qualifications and make yourself this good candidate only to end up where you started, to end up in a job that you don't like. And people just stop asking about your job search. You can feel it. It's like quiet disappointment. The unspoken, what happened to this person? And you feel stuck. Now, I want you to write down exactly what happens in this scenario if you fail, if you don't work as hard as you can over the next 6-12 months and you don't achieve it. You procrastinate, you're lazy, you don't achieve it. How does your life go? Does it get worse? Does it stay the same? How does it feel? Who does it impact? Let it sink in. Now, I want you to have another section here and call it if I fail or if I'm lazy, and then write it down. Pause the video and write it all down. Now, the next step, I want you to close your eyes again. Now imagine you're 100 years old. You are sitting in a chair in your house, your home. You're looking back at your life. Now imagine you never really did what you were capable of. You never really worked that hard. You never pushed to achieve your dreams. You played it safe. You didn't take risks. You let fear and laziness win. You settled for whatever job you could get, and you never really built the life you want. You never really gave it your all. And you regret it. You wish you could go back and tell your younger self to stop making excuses and to push harder. But you know it's too late now. You're too old. How does that feel? Now imagine the opposite. Imagine you're 100 years old, you're sitting in your house, and you went all in from this day forward. You gave your life everything, and you ended up building the life of your dreams. You lived in an amazing country, built an amazing career, traveled the world, gave your family everything they deserved, and you look back and you're proud. You have no regrets. And you smile knowing you gave life your all. Now I want you to pause the video for a second here, and I want you to write something down. I want you to write down, how does your 100-year-old self feel if you succeed? And how do they feel if you don't? Pause the video and write that down. Now step 5. What I want you to do is, look, there are going to be days when you feel tired, when you don't feel this fiery motivation inside. And that's what discipline is for. You've got to be disciplined. There are going to be days when you don't want to apply for jobs, when you feel like giving up. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down, what will you say to yourself in those moments? When you feel like being lazy, giving up. Write down what you're going to say to yourself. For example, something like, you cannot be lazy, you're on a mission for your future, or I refuse to waste my potential and settle for a life I don't want, or every single day I put in the work, I'm going to get closer to success, or something like, if I stop now, I will regret this for the rest of my life, or the people who succeed are the ones who never stop, and I am one of those people. Something like that you are going to say to yourself every time you feel lazy, you feel like giving up, you feel like procrastinating. So pause the video, write down whatever that phrase is going to be, and then come back. Now the last step, this is the easiest one. Your deep reasons, the things you wrote down today, they might motivate you for today, for this moment, but they won't motivate you every day unless you keep them in front of you. So what I want you to do is print out the document you just created, or the thing you wrote down, pull it out. And I want you to put it somewhere you're going to see every day. Your desk, your fridge, somewhere you're going to see every single day. So you never ever go a day without seeing this thing. It's going to remind you every day. And the truth is, most people, they try to build their dreams, but the real winners, they move with urgency, intensity, purpose, and they're motivated, a lot of them, plus disciplined. So the question is, which one are you going to be? Light your fire and never, ever let it burn out.